that he checks her into the Sunset Marquis Hotel because he wanted her sort of off the grid. Then he said he called Combs and was upset, and they had some words. He believed that Combs was at his home. He got to the house, and then he said it appeared someone had broken in, but Combs was not there. In the end, there was no proof that Combs broke into his house, and they moved on. That is until, of course, January of 2012. So they had issues at the end of 2011 in December, and then in January 2012, Cudi testified that someone had thrown a Molotov cocktail into his Porsche 911. Once again, Cudi believes that it was Combs that is responsible for causing damage to his car. This is what he testified today in court. He calls Combs because he wants to have a conversation with him man to man, and the two agree to meet at the Soho House in Los Angeles. Describes walking into a room, seeing Combs looking out of a window, as he said, with his hands behind his back, looking like a Marvel supervillain. At which point, the courtroom erupted in laughter. Cudi testified that they had a very calm conversation, and it was understood that Ventura was going back with Combs and that Ventura and Cudi would go their separate ways. He said, though, when it was time for them to depart, he went to shake his hand and he looked at Combs and said, "But what about my car? What are we going to do about that?" And Combs said, "I don't know what you're talking about." He said years later, a couple of years later, he did run into Combs and that Combs apologized for everything. The defense made a point to say there was no forensic evidence connecting Combs to that break-in or to the Molotov cocktail that was put inside of Kid Cudi's car.